Hello and welcome. On today's show, we will be covering the topic of how people must break stereotypes in order to lead the lives they want. It is present through many aspects of our lives, including the past and present, that sometimes stereotypes must be broken in order for people to live their lives to the fullest. Today we have three very diverse guests on the show who will be giving us a deeper look into the journeys they have gone on in order to lead the lives they want. Our first guest is Atticus Finch. He comes from a sleepy southern town called Macomb and plays a leading role in the story of To Kill a Mockingbird, written by Harper Lee. To follow, we will have an appearance from Othello, a very brave man who has proven to break the stereotypes in the 1500s. And lastly, we will have Miss Blue, who will show us how hard it can be in present society to live a life that goes against stereotypes, but how beneficial it truly can be. All that coming up next. To begin, we're going to talk to Atticus Finch from a small town called Macomb about his brave actions of breaking the racist stereotypes of his community in order to do what is right. I'd like to introduce to you Atticus Finch. Thank you so much for being here. Now why don't we begin with a question about where you come from. Can you tell us about Macomb?
Well, Macomb is a small town. Although it is my home, there are many stereotypes and social norms that I simply do not agree with. For example, racism. The society where I'm from is very racist.
Well, we all know the story of how you defended an African-American man, Tom Robinson, in court. What is it that led you on this journey to fight the racist stereotypes in Macomb?
It is my belief that you never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. So upon hearing of Tom Robinson's case, I knew that because he was an African-American man, that very few other lawyers in Macomb would defend him.
How did you make your decision to break this stereotype?
A number of reasons. The main one is if I couldn't hold up my head in town. I couldn't represent this country in the legislature. I couldn't even tell my kids not to do something.
Wow. So you felt as though if you didn't break these stereotypes, you couldn't have lived the life you wanted?
Oh, definitely. I couldn't live with myself, let alone a happy life, had I not broken the racist stereotypes of Macomb.
Thank you so much for joining us, Atticus.
Okay.
Our next man is a man whose bravery to overcome a very strong stereotype in the 1500s resulted in him living a life that otherwise could not be possible. It is my honor to introduce Othello. Hello, Othello. I'd like to start off by saying what an honor it is to have you as a guest on the show today. As we all know, in the 1950s, African Americans were seen as lesser and were very rarely given positions of such and high importance as you. How did you overcome these stereotypes in order to lead such a successful life?
Well, in order to become successful, I've had to work very hard to prove myself. I'm a good fighter and have worked very hard to earn the respect of people of a very high ranking, including the senator, who refers to me as Valiant More.
Wow, that's incredible. Do you believe you could have been that successful in leading a life if you hadn't broken these stereotypes?
No, I definitely don't think I would have.
Thank you so much, Othello. It's been an honor having you on the show today. Continuing on our journey of how people must break stereotypes in order to lead the lives they want, I would like to introduce to you our final guest, Miss Blue. Miss Blue is a woman who has had to break the very tough stereotype of how men should act. Miss Blue is a woman who was born a man and has had to go through a great deal in order to live the life that she was born to live. She has had to break the stereotypes of how people feel she should act because of how she is physically. Now, Miss Blue, could you please tell us about the first time you broke the stereotypes of someone who is physically a male should act? It started slowly. I started wearing a purse. Nothing too big, but it was still a huge step considering that society believes I should be doing. Would you say that, had you not come out about being transgender and breaking the stereotype of how you should be acting, could you have lived the happy life you lead today? No, I definitely did not. Had I not broken these stereotypes, I couldn't have led the life I want. Wow, thank you so much, Miss Blue. Such a truly, truly inspiring story. Our three guests today have certainly proved that sometimes you must break stereotypes in order to live the life you want. To conclude with a few closing remarks about stereotypes. Stereotypes are present throughout our lives, but just because they are there doesn't mean we need to follow them. I hope that our three guests today have shown you how beneficial it can be to break the stereotypes, and have influenced you to fight against the stereotypes that you are allowing to control your life, so that you can lead the life you want. Now, to finish, as we are running out of time, are there any questions in the audience?